Whatever happened to the space pistol, a weapon that shot lasers which bounced off every wall? Or the portable reboot item that was leaked and never brought up again? Wait a minute, weren't there a bunch of POIs that were saved during the Fractured event last season? Where did they go? Today we'll take a look at some of these mysteries as we explore a bunch of cancelled Fortnite updates. With a game this big, it was bound to happen. The Mr. Beast collab was one of the hypest collabs with $1 million prize giveaway, free items, and a new game mode. However, did you know that there was almost a POI added to the game to celebrate the occasion? During the last FNCS, Epic unveiled a statue of the Beast Burger. This was a nice little blend of Mr. Beast and Der Burger. So many fans wondered if a POI was in the works, even if it was a small thing like Came House. However, the Mr. Beast collab came and went, and Beast Burger was never brought up again. Skateboards were almost a thing during the summer. Remember that? This season, we finally got our hands on the long-awaited motorcycles, and we might even have new motorcycle types in the near future. However, whatever happened to skateboards? Well, despite appearing in multiple sprays, in the interior of Crackshot Cabin during Winterfest, and even as real-life memorabilia, they have yet to appear in-game as usable items. Of course, no list of cancelled updates would be complete without some weapons that just never made the cutting room floor. One of these is the fire extinguisher. This was going to be a utility item that would put out fires or explode when shot at to release a cloud of smoke that would block everyone's vision. The airstrike laser is another weapon that just never made it in. It would have been able to call in an airstrike wherever you point the laser at. However, this item might have been redundant once the javelin was released last chapter, so this weapon might be gone for good. The list goes on because the next weapon that was scrapped was the Zap Zap. This weapon might seem a bit familiar because it was originally in Save the World. However, perhaps because it did too much damage, it was left behind instead of being added to Battle Royale. Think you have what it takes to go pro? Then click on the link below and visit ProGuides.com. For $7.99 a month, you can gain access to a treasure trove of content such as courses and even past boot camps. Join now and you can get 10% off pro-level coaching that can help you reach the top of the leaderboards. Last season, we watched the island was slowly consumed by Chrome. It was the end of the chapter event no one expected, but did you know that it could have been even bigger? Earlier this season, an alternate version of the Fractured event was leaked, which showed the mothership appearing to snatch away the 0 point as the Herald caused the island to explode. But what does it mean? Perhaps Epic had different plans for the finale, one that involved the last reality returning at the last minute. Perhaps, though, it was scrapped due to coming way out of left field, especially since the mothership exploded shortly after. By now, we are all aware of the mysterious grapple harness which should have hit the map sooner. We have also seen countless teasers for flying creatures such as the final moments of the Cypher PK collab trailer. So where did these new additions go? Considering we have a medieval theme for this chapter, it would have been the perfect time to bring in dragons. Or perhaps they could have brought in Clombos, back from hibernation and ready to take flight. Unfortunately, Epic is staying quiet about this one in fact. Colombos have even been removed from the in-game files. There is still plenty of season left, and unless Fortnite somehow stops existing, those flying creatures will be here eventually. Speaking of flying creatures, there was actually supposed to be a way to fly last season. I'm talking about planes. And despite Epic adding in flight runways, planes were mysteriously never added. However, we did get some crash pads in case anyone got impatient and tried flying by flapping their arms. Now for the question of the day. You ready for this? If you could force Epic to finish and release one scrapped update idea, which one would it be? Chapter 3's biggest mystery was blown up at the end of the live event. During the start of Season 1 Flipped, we were introduced to the home of the Seven, a statue of the Foundation, and a mysterious door at his feet. Fans were expecting the doors to unseal as we all imagined untold treasures. However, that never happened and the island came and went. Speaking of mysterious doors, Covert Cavern also had a mysterious vault located deep within the POI. Main theorized Clombos. Others said, it's the Devour Reborn. But eventually, the contents of the vault were revealed to be absolutely nothing. But hey, at least this vault was a good place to hide during the chapter. Okay, we all have Midas fever. We want him back, and perhaps it's on us for getting ourselves hyped up with all the clues such as sprays, Project Loot Breaker, and even tweets from Name of Tweet. Well, if it's any consolation, Midas is definitely not dead. And in a game that extends across the multiverse itself, Midas returning is definitely not a question of if, but when. Chris Hemsworth is a movie star from popular franchises such as Thor series and even some less popular takes such as Men in Black. However, one thing is for sure, Extraction showed just how much of an action hero he could be, and we might have almost gotten him in Fortnite. A mysterious skin started cropping up after the possibility of Rake being added to Fortnite started circulating. It had a very similar tattoo to the character, all it was missing was a head. However, Chris Hemsworth was nowhere to be seen, and even when the Thor Love and Thunder crossover happened, we got a Thor with a helmet you just couldn't remove. Does this mean that Chris Hemsworth himself is the problem? It's one thing to have an update teased only for it to never happen, but to get the items only for them to vanish? With the release of My Hero Academia crossover, we got tons of new skins and even a new mode to go with it. We also got one of the most broken weapons in Fortnite history. Step aside, Dragon Ball. However, it seems like Epic had a knack of releasing broken weapons lately, because the Deku Smash and One for All quirk was removed from the game for being too powerful to exist in the Fortnite meta. Ouch! All the quests revolving it were also changed. Another weapon that was removed was the claws from the Fortnitemares events. Perhaps not the most powerful weapon, but definitely broken enough to get removed for a few days. Is Deku Smash back as you watch this, or did Epic really make this weapon vanish from history? We all know it's coming. When first-person Fortnite finally hits, it's going to be insane. However, there was something else that might have gotten left behind which would have changed cosmetics forever. Epic was working on a new type of cosmetic, but then never really surfaced up again. Could this have been a new form of weapon charm? The mystery remains. For now, cosmetic items make up the bulk of Epic's earnings in Fortnite. However, did you know that there have been countless unreleased skins and emotes, and even some that will get you banned if Epic catches you using it? One of the best unknown unreleased emotes is the Unicycle emote. This emote is in the files and everything, however has yet to be released. Will it ever see the light of day? Another skin which was left behind was a possible collab with Kanye West. It was rumored that the collab would happen during the release of his Donta 2 album. However, aside from some tweets, it seems Epic never really went through with this. However, Kanye isn't the only star to be left behind. A while back, even Beyonce got snubbed after being featured in a Fortnite icon leak that included Gangnam Style and her signature Single Ladies dance. While many of the dances featured were eventually released, Single Ladies has yet to be featured in the Fortnite store. If you have Brilliant Bomber in your locker, raise your hand. If you have your hand up, then Epic is coming after you. That's right, this skin is illegal. Originally planned as part of the annual pass for 2020, she was scrapped when Fortnite Crew came into the picture. However, that didn't stop some players from getting their hands on the skin, and Epic started a manhunt to ban any account that got a hold of them. Before we wrap things up for today, don't forget to check out ProGuides.com for some pro-level coaching. One of the biggest collaborations to get dropped was the Metroid crossover. Originally, Epic had plans to collaborate with Nintendo to bring the Bounty Hunter to the island. However, this soon fell apart when Nintendo wanted Samus to remain exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. With Fortnite getting bigger and bigger each year, will Nintendo yield and insert their characters into the game? Only time will tell, but right now, Nintendo wants to keep things exclusive. Finally, we have the sports car. Perhaps this was the beta version of the Whiplash, but this sports vehicle can only be found in portraits on the wall. So hey, this one made it in. Kind of. Just goes to show that some content can be unrecognizable when it finally releases. So there you have it. Perhaps some of these scrapped updates were gone for good, but there's always a chance one or two of them might come back in the future. If you enjoyed that, then leave a like and ring that bell to stay up to date with all our greatest tips and tricks and more. Once again, this is Galvanize, and we'll see you next time.